Captain Alex Morgan sat in the small shuttle, staring out at the endless black of space. The stars twinkled like diamonds scattered on a black velvet cloth, and for the first time in years he felt a sense of peace. Well, a small peace. He knew better than to relax completely. After all, he was a human soldier on an interstellar mission with a species that could probably crush a starship with a thought. The mission was simple, or so they said. The United Earth Command had arranged a diplomatic meeting with the Zalari, a highly advanced alien species governed by a singular, all-powerful queen. The humans were expected to attend as ambassadors, learn about Zalari culture, and most importantly, make a good impression. Remember, Alex, his commanding officer, had said before he left, "Do not do anything unusual. Just be polite, smile, and don't touch anything. And for the love of humanity, don't embarrass us." Alex snorted at the memory. Him embarrassing humanity? That was practically a full-time job. When the shuttle docked with the massive Zalari flagship, Alex's jaw dropped. The ship was enormous, smooth like liquid silver, and pulsed with faint blue lights. Everything about it screamed intelligence and elegance. A Zalari attendant floated down a corridor to meet him. "Welcome, human Captain Morgan. Follow me to the audience chamber of Queen Lithara." Alex blinked. Sure. Lead the way." The corridor curved and twisted in ways that made his stomach feel queasy, but he forced himself to keep up. Eventually, they arrived at a wide chamber, filled with shimmering lights and softly floating platforms. In the center sat Queen Lithara, her presence commanding yet serene. Her skin glowed faintly blue, and her large eyes seemed to see through Alex entirely. "Captain Morgan," she said, her voice musical and soothing. "Welcome to my ship." Thank you, Your Majesty," Alex stammered, bowing awkwardly. He tried to imitate the graceful gestures he had observed in his training videos, but ended up nearly tripping over his own feet. Lithara's eyes twinkled with what Alex hoped was amusement rather than judgment. "The council informs me you are a soldier?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am," Alex replied, trying not to sound too much like a recruit. "I serve the United Earth Command." "Interesting." She tilted her head, observing him with intensity. "Your species is unusual. Very different from the Zalari," Alex shrugged. "We get that a lot." The queen waved her hand, and a strange, glowing pattern appeared between them. Alex felt it hum softly, almost like it was alive. The attendants muttered something in their musical language, and suddenly, Alex felt a pull, not physical but deeper, as if the energy of the room itself was tugging at his thoughts. Before he could ask what was happening, the queen leaned closer. "There is a ritual," she said, her voice almost a whisper, "that must be performed when a human meets the queen. It is unusual." Alex's eyes widened. "Ritual?" "Yes, but it is harmless in your terms." She smiled faintly, and for some reason Alex believed her. Somehow, though, everything she did felt both intimidating and oddly inviting. The attendants began adjusting lights and patterns around them. Alex, trying not to look panicked, followed the motions he was instructed to perform. But one wrong step, one misplaced gesture, and the ritual energy surged unpredictably. Alex coughed nervously. I think I did something wrong?" Lithara's eyes widened, and then, shockingly, she laughed, a sound like music mixed with starlight. "You activated the bond," Alex froze. "Bond?" "Yes, the human ritual combined with your presence has triggered a biological effect. Unintended, yes, but effective." Alex's brain short-circuited. "Wait, are you saying I caused something?" The queen nodded, her expression a mix of curiosity and worry. "You, human, have unintentionally become part of a process that is significant to the Zalari species. The outcome is unprecedented." Alex blinked. "You mean, like a baby?" "Yes," Alex's jaw dropped. "A baby? But I didn't even know we could, He stopped. The words didn't matter. The situation was beyond anything he had prepared for in military training or life. The attendants looked equally stunned, though their composure remained far superior to his. Lithara rose from her seat gracefully, glowing faintly brighter. "It seems we must adjust our plans. Captain Morgan, you will stay here in comfort for observation. You are not a prisoner. We must ensure the process is safe for both human and Zalari." Alex blinked. "Observation? Like a study?" "Yes, and guidance. This hybrid process is new. We must understand it together," he sighed. "Well, I guess I can do that. Not like I had plans for the next, I don't know, decade. The attendants led him to a nearby chamber, surprisingly luxurious. It had soft surfaces, ambient lighting, and even a gravity-adjustable floor. Alex plopped onto a floating chair and stared around. This was nothing like any military accommodation he had ever seen. Over the next few hours, scientists, both human and Zalari, examined him. They asked questions, measured vitals, and occasionally poked at energy readings. Alex did his best to cooperate, though he could not hide his discomfort when one Zalari technician tried to analyze his taste in food. Apparently, human diet was an important variable. Queen Lithera visited later, her presence calm but powerful. "You're adapting well, Captain," she said. "Most humans would be." "Panicking," Alex shrugged. "Well, you know, when life gives you interstellar lemons, you try not to explode." She tilted her head, seemingly amused. "Your species' humor is remarkable. It is one reason we are studying the bond. Your emotional traits, curiosity, kindness, even humor, are influencing the process positively." Alex blinked. "So, me being me, is helping?" "Yes, your nature contributes to stability. Zalari physiology responds to emotional resonance. You are a catalyst." Alex leaned back thinking. "So let me get this straight. I accidentally triggered a hybrid pregnancy and now I'm helping it grow by being me." "That is accurate," Lithera smiled. "Do not be alarmed. All is well. But you must remain here, at least for now." Over the following days, Alex's routine settled into a bizarre but manageable pattern. He learned Zalari etiquette, how to bow without tripping, how to respond to subtle changes in lighting that indicated mood, and even how to communicate telepathically in small bursts. He discovered that the Queen had a fascination with human culture, especially simple things like coffee, music, and jokes. One afternoon, Alex accidentally spilled a cup of synthetic coffee onto a floating console. The console emitted a soft alarm and his heart sank. "Oh, human," Lithera said, suppressing a laugh. "You are exactly as we expected?" Alex grinned sheepishly. "Hey, at least I'm consistent." She floated closer, inspecting the spill. "Curiously, your error caused a minor increase in energy resonance. Perhaps mistakes are beneficial." Alex blinked. "Beneficial mistakes? That's actually comforting." Lithera chuckled softly, and Alex realized something remarkable. In this alien ship, surrounded by beings he barely understood, he was not afraid. He felt connected. His human nature, his instincts, his empathy, even his humor, were respected here in a way he had never experienced. That night, as Alex drifted on the gravity-adjustable bed, he thought about what had happened. A single accident had changed the course of his life, and possibly the future of two species. He felt a strange mix of pride, fear, and excitement. The stars outside glimmered, indifferent to the chaos inside the ship. But Alex smiled. Somehow he knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had stumbled into the galaxy in a way no one could have predicted, and now, Captain Alex Morgan had a role unlike any soldier before him. He closed his eyes, letting the hum of the Queen's energy wash over him, and for the first time in a long while he allowed himself to hope. This was going to be interesting. The days aboard the Zalari flagship moved in a rhythm both strange and fascinating. Captain Alex Morgan, once a soldier trained for precision and combat, now found himself in the unlikeliest of roles. Part ambassador, part guest, and part, well, experimental participant. The Queen's hybrid pregnancy, accidental though it was, required his presence. But surprisingly, this new duty was more curious than dangerous. Alex spent his mornings learning Zalari customs. The first lesson was simple: floating. Unlike humans, Zalari could move through their chambers with effortless grace, hovering and spinning without touching the ground. Alex, however, had the agility of a grounded species. "Balance is key," explained Lithera one morning, hovering before him like a glowing statue. "Your body must adjust to zero-gravity motion. Bend, float, flow with the currents of the chamber." Alex attempted it. He bent, twisted, and pushed off the walls only to spin wildly into a corner. He landed in a soft pile of floating cushions, gasping. "Impressive. In a chaotic way," Lithera said, suppressing a laugh. "We will improve." Over breakfast, synthetic, nutrient-rich food designed to mimic human meals, Alex learned more about Zalari biology. Scientists explained that the hybrid pregnancy was unprecedented. No human had ever bonded biologically with a Zalari, and the process relied on emotional resonance. Essentially, Alex's feelings, thoughts, and behaviors could influence the stability of the queen's pregnancy. Alex nearly choked on his protein paste. You mean, me being me is literally helping create a baby? Yes, said Lethera calmly. Your nature is compatible in ways we did not expect. Humor, empathy, curiosity, all are stabilizing factors. Alex shook his head. I always thought I was kind of clumsy. You are, she admitted, smiling. And that is exactly why you are needed. His afternoons were filled with cultural exchanges. Lethera insisted on teaching him Zalari arts, a combination of light manipulation, telepathy, and musical resonance. Alex, of course, was terrible at it. One attempt to play a floating harp-like instrument produced a burst of blinding light that temporarily colored the walls neon green. Perhaps try smaller gestures, Lethera suggested, her expression both patient and amused. Alex grinned sheepishly. Small gestures, right. Got it. Despite the challenges, he began to notice subtle changes. The queen would glow faintly brighter when he succeeded at even the simplest tasks, and her advisors frequently glanced at him with quiet curiosity. It seemed that in some small but important way, his presence was influencing the ship. Evenings were for conversation, and here Alex discovered another human advantage: storytelling. He began recounting tales of Earth, its strange customs, foods, and sports. The queen listened with fascination. Your species is chaotic, Lethera said one evening, yet somehow clever. How do you survive on such primitive worlds? Alex laughed. Primitive? I'll have you know Earth invented pizza. And movies. And sarcasm. Sarcasm, that is. Unusual, she said, her glowing eyes twinkling. It is both humorous and confusing. Alex realized that he was not just a subject in a scientific experiment. He was a bridge between two cultures. Humans might be physically weaker than Zalari, but their creativity, humor, and problem-solving abilities had a unique power. Somehow, his humanity had become a tool for survival and understanding. One day, a minor crisis arose, minor for the queen, chaotic for Alex. A sudden fluctuation in the hybrid energy field caused the room to shimmer violently. Alarms blared softly, though the Zalari remained calm. Alex panicked slightly. Is this normal? It is an adjustment, explained Lethera calmly. Your emotional reaction may influence the outcome. Remain calm. Focus. Alex closed his eyes and tried to breathe steadily. He thought of simple things. His childhood dog, his mother's cooking, the way sunlight felt on Earth mornings. Slowly, the energy stabilized. You see? Lethera said, her voice like music. Human thought, emotion, has power. Alex opened his eyes. I guess humans are stronger than we look, huh? She smiled, in ways not yet understood. As days passed, Alex's role grew more complex. He began to advise the queen on human behavior, helping her understand emotions, humor, and curiosity, traits Zalari had little experience with. He explained jokes, the concept of hobbies, and even the strange ritual humans called shopping. Lethera listened intently, her glowing eyes wide with fascination. At the same time, Alex learned more about Zalari culture. The queen's advisors taught him about their history, their art, their way of life. He was amazed by the beauty of their cities, the subtle patterns of their energy manipulation, and their dedication to balance and harmony. Yet despite their sophistication, Alex noticed something remarkable. Zalari life was missing a certain chaos that humans brought effortlessly. While they were precise and efficient, they lacked the unpredictability, the humor, the small mistakes that somehow made life richer. Alex realized that this was why humans mattered in the hybrid process. Their spontaneity and emotion added stability and flexibility to the queen's physiology. Alex's favorite part of the day became the quiet moments with the queen. They would sit in the observation chamber, watching stars drift past. Lethera would ask questions about Earth, about humans, about why they acted in such strange and wonderful ways. Alex answered honestly, never trying to hide flaws or exaggerate. You are sincere, Lethera said one night. Perhaps sincerity is a trait worth preserving in Zalari evolution. Alex laughed softly. I think humans are a work in progress. But hey, we try. One afternoon, while floating through a narrow corridor, Alex accidentally bumped into one of the queen's advisors. Energy sparks flew briefly and Alex tumbled into the wall. Human clumsiness, muttered the advisor. Alex grinned, brushing himself off. Hey, you said human traits stabilize the process, right? Maybe I'm helping again. Lethera's laughter echoed down the corridor. Perhaps. Your mistakes are beneficial. Humor became a bridge between them. Even minor accidents, missteps, and misunderstandings turned into lessons in empathy, patience, and collaboration. Alex realized that humans had something Zelleri did not, the ability to laugh at themselves. This ability, trivial though it seemed, was crucial to the hybrid pregnancy. Emotional resonance required trust, comfort, and joy, all things humans could provide naturally. Weeks passed, and the Queen's glow subtly changed. Scientists monitored the hybrid process with fascination. The energy field surrounding Lethera became more vibrant, more responsive yet perfectly balanced. Alex's presence, laughter, and curiosity played a key role in maintaining this equilibrium. One day, the Queen asked him a serious question. Captain Morgan, if the hybrid child is born, how will your species react? Alex hesitated. Honestly, some humans will be shocked, some will be excited, and some, well, they'll probably make memes about it. Lethera tilted her head, amused. Memes? Yeah, little jokes on the internet. Pictures with captions. Humans love them. The Queen seemed to consider this. Perhaps humor is more powerful than we understand. In the quiet moments, Alex felt a bond forming. Not romantic, not in the way humans might assume, but profound in its own way. The Queen trusted him. The child's safety depended on him. And through this strange accidental process, humans and Zelleri were beginning to understand each other. One evening, as Alex prepared for rest, Lethera approached him. Tomorrow you will meet the council formally. They will want to observe and interact. Your approach may influence their acceptance. Alex groaned. Great. Me, facing the most intelligent aliens in the galaxy. Should be easy, right? Lethera's smile was gentle. You are capable, human, more than you realize. Your humanity is a gift, Alex chuckled softly. I guess I better live up to that then. As he floated to his chamber, staring at the stars outside, Alex felt a strange pride. He had accidentally caused something extraordinary, and now he was part of it. Humans had stumbled into the galaxy, as clumsy and chaotic as ever, and yet here he was, proving that sometimes the human spirit, curiosity, humor, kindness was exactly what the universe needed. The hybrid pregnancy continued, stable and vibrant. Alex and the Queen worked together to learn, adapt, and grow. And in these quiet, floating days aboard the ship, humanity's role in the stars became clearer. Not through weapons, not through conquest, but through empathy, curiosity, and the sheer, unpredictable wonder of being human. For the first time in his life, Alex felt truly proud, not as a soldier, but as a human, a representative of Earth, and surprisingly, as a participant in the most important experiment the galaxy had ever seen. The stars outside shimmered, infinite and endless, but inside the Zelleri flagship, something even more remarkable was forming. A bridge between species, a bond that could change the future, and a new beginning born from one clumsy human mistake. Weeks had passed since Captain Alex Morgan's accidental involvement in the Queen's hybrid pregnancy. The initial shock had faded, replaced by a strange rhythm aboard the Zelleri flagship. Alex was no longer simply a soldier or an observer. He had become a bridge between two species, a living example of human adaptability and curiosity. One morning, as the soft blue light of the ship's interior pulsed gently, Alex floated toward the observation chamber. The Queen was already there, her presence calm and glowing as if she could sense every detail of the room without looking. Good morning, human, Lethera said, her voice musical as always. Today we begin a deeper exchange. Alex grinned. Deeper exchange? Last time we did deep exchange, I nearly broke the light harp. Lethera tilted her head, amused. We will avoid musical instruments today. Instead, we explore ideas, culture, and problem-solving. The Zelleri had prepared a room filled with holographic simulations depicting scenes from Earth and Zelleri worlds. Alex floated inside, eyes widening. The simulations were vivid, almost real. Forests swaying in wind, oceans glimmering, cities alive with energy. This is amazing, he whispered. It's like being in both worlds at once. Yes, said Lethera. We wish to understand your species fully. And you will help guide us. Alex blinked. Guide you? Me? I'm just me. Precisely, she said. Your perspective is unique. The morning session began with simple lessons. Alex explained human customs, greetings, humor, gestures, even the strange concept of personal space. The Zalari absorbed every detail with patience, though occasionally, their interpretations caused small bursts of laughter or confusion. For example, Alex tried to demonstrate a handshake. Lithera's advisor mimicked him perfectly, but the gesture caused an unexpected energy discharge. A small burst of blue sparks floated harmlessly in the air, and Alex yelped. Your species is dangerous even in small ways, Lithera said, trying to suppress a laugh. Harmlessly dangerous, Alex corrected, floating backward. It's a specialty. The Zalari laughed, a sound like soft bells. Alex realized that humor, no matter how simple, was bridging the gap between species. Something as human as a joke could become a lesson in trust, understanding, and emotional resonance. Afterward, the Queen led Alex to the medical observation chamber. Scientists were monitoring her energy fields and the developing hybrid. Curious, Lithera said, observing the readings. The presence of human emotional traits is stabilizing the process more than anticipated. Your curiosity, empathy, even small frustrations, are contributing positively. Alex raised an eyebrow. So my mistakes help again? I'm starting to feel like a superhero. Perhaps, she replied, her glowing eyes reflecting amusement. A different kind of heroism, one of adaptability and understanding. The hybrid pregnancy continued to show remarkable stability. The Queen's energy field was vibrant, responding to Alex's moods and behaviors. It seemed that human spontaneity, something Zalari normally lacked, was essential to the child's development. In the afternoons, Alex began to teach the Queen about Earth culture. He told stories of cities, inventions, and human achievements. Lithera was fascinated, asking detailed questions about why humans acted the way they did. Why do you have so many different ways to play games? She asked one day, her eyes glowing softly. Alex chuckled. Because humans love challenges. We compete, we fail, we try again. It's fun, and it teaches us to adapt. The Queen nodded slowly. Adaptation. Perhaps your species has lessons we have yet to learn. Efficiency is good, but adaptability is powerful. Alex realized he was teaching more than just culture. He was showing the Zalari something fundamental: human resilience, creativity, and unpredictability. These traits were not weaknesses, as some might assume, but strengths. One evening, Alex floated near the observation window, staring at the distant stars. Lithera joined him, her presence calming and warm. Captain Morgan, she said softly, you have taught us much in a short time, perhaps more than any delegation ever could. Alex shrugged, floating lazily. I just told the truth. Humans do strange things. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Guess it's useful. You are modest, she replied. But your honesty, your nature, it is remarkable. Over the following days, Alex began participating in more active cultural exchanges. The Zalari taught him energy manipulation techniques, how to guide small energy currents with thought, how to influence light and movement without touching anything. He was clumsy, yes, but persistent. During one session, he accidentally sent a small energy pulse through the chamber, causing floating objects to dance and swirl. Lithera's eyes widened, then softened in appreciation. Interesting, she said. Your error has created new patterns. Unpredictable, yet harmonious, Alex laughed. I've been doing that my whole life. Indeed, she said, smiling faintly. Perhaps unpredictability is a gift. Through these lessons, both species began to see the value in the other. Humans brought creativity, humor, and adaptability. Zalari brought precision, balance, and deep understanding of energy and environment. Together, they were more than the sum of their parts. One afternoon, Alex met the Queen's advisors formally. They were cautious, observing every gesture, every word. Alex felt a moment of panic. He had spent his life in battle, not diplomacy, but he reminded himself of what he had learned. Humor, honesty, and curiosity were powerful tools. Greetings, he said, bowing awkwardly. I'm Captain Alex Morgan. I come in peace. And occasionally chaos. The advisors exchanged glances. One spoke carefully in the musical Zalari language. Lithera translated. He means to cooperate fully and provide guidance while occasionally making minor errors. These errors are not harmful. A ripple of amusement passed through the advisors. Alex realized that even formal diplomacy could benefit from a touch of human personality. He shared small stories, answered questions honestly, and even demonstrated a human joke. The room erupted in light laughter, something Alex had never expected. By evening, the advisors were not just tolerating him, they were learning from him. Alex's humanity, strange as it was to them, had value. One night, floating alone in his chamber, Alex reflected on the week. The hybrid pregnancy was progressing well. The Queen was thriving, her energy field stable, and humans and Zalari were beginning to understand each other in ways that no formal mission could have achieved. It was then he realized something profound. Humans might not be the strongest species, nor the most efficient, nor the most advanced, but they were adaptable, curious, and resilient. And sometimes that was exactly what the universe needed. The next morning, Lithera visited him again. "Captain Morgan, today we will attempt a joint task. It will require cooperation, creativity, and your humanity," Alex grinned. "Sounds like my kind of mission." The task was simple in theory. They needed to design a new chamber to support the hybrid child's development, a space that incorporated both Zalari technology and human comfort. Lithera and her advisors presented their plans, precise and elegant. But Alex immediately noticed something lacking: warmth, unpredictability, and the little quirks that made life enjoyable. He suggested adding elements inspired by human environments, soft floating objects to play with, adjustable lighting for mood, even a small corner where the Queen could practice human-style meditation. Lithera was intrigued. "Your suggestions are unusual," she said, "but promising." Over the course of hours, they redesigned the chamber. Alex contributed ideas, made minor mistakes, and laughed at himself constantly. Each error caused a ripple of unexpected creativity, new patterns in energy flow, surprising harmonies in light, and subtle shifts in the room's atmosphere. By the end of the day, the chamber was ready. It was not perfect by Zalari standards nor by human standards, but it was alive, warm, and balanced. And most importantly, it was a space that supported growth for the hybrid child and for the bond between species. As Alex floated beside Lithera, watching the chamber hum with energy, he felt a quiet pride. This was more than a mission. This was history in the making, and he in his clumsy human way had helped create it. "Perhaps," Lithera said softly, "your species is exactly what the galaxy needs," Alex laughed. "I hope the galaxy's ready for us. We're kind of unpredictable." The Queen's laughter echoed softly through the chamber, and for the first time, Alex realized that unpredictability, humor, and human nature were not flaws, they were gifts. Gifts that could change the future of two species, one accidental pregnancy, and perhaps the galaxy itself. The weeks aboard the Zalari flagship had settled into a rhythm, but Alex Morgan could feel a subtle tension in the air. Not a dangerous tension, not anything like battle, but a careful, deliberate sort of tension. Something was coming, a moment that would test not only the bond between Alex and the Queen, but also the collaboration between humans and Zalari. The Queen summoned him to the observation chamber early one morning. The light pulsed gently as she floated gracefully toward him. "Captain Morgan," she said, her voice calm yet serious, "the Council has requested a ceremonial demonstration for the hybrid child's development. This is a significant moment for both species." Alex swallowed. "Ceremony, like, what do I wear? Should I bow more?" Lithara's eyes glimmered with amusement. "Your presence is sufficient. Authenticity is more important than formality, but you must participate fully. This is a test of unity." Over the next few hours, Alex was briefed on the ceremony. It would involve both humans and Zalari working together to create a harmonious environment for the hybrid. Tasks included energy alignment, spatial coordination, and mutual understanding exercises. Alex realized that this was more than a ritual. It was a challenge, one that relied on his ability to connect with a species far beyond human understanding. The first task involved floating patterns of light, which Zalari used to represent emotional states. Alex was to guide a pattern using his own feelings while Lithera guided another. Their goal was to merge the patterns into a unified display. Alex frowned. "Guide feelings? I'm more used to guiding soldiers, not emotions," Lithera smiled. "Try. You will succeed in your own way." He closed his eyes and focused. He thought of Earth, soft sunlight, laughter with friends, the smell of rain. Slowly, he reached out with his thoughts. A faint glow appeared in the chamber, pulsing with rhythm. Lethera's pattern approached his. At first, the two seemed incompatible, moving in separate directions. Alex tensed. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Relax, Lethera said softly. Do not force. Let it flow. Alex took a deep breath, letting go of the pressure to be perfect. He allowed his emotions to guide the energy naturally. Slowly, his glow merged with the Queen's, forming a vibrant, harmonious pattern that pulsed across the chamber. The council observed silently, their eyes glowing faintly. One of the advisors whispered something in musical tones, and Lethera translated, "Your contribution has stabilized the pattern. It is remarkable." Alex's heart swelled. "So Inhumans can do this?" "Yes," Lethera said. "In your own unpredictable way, you contribute strength." Next came the spatial coordination exercise. Alex and a group of Zalari were tasked with arranging floating objects to create a safe and stimulating environment for the hybrid child. The objects responded to thought, intention, and small emotional cues. Alex immediately realized his human instinct for improvisation was an advantage. While the Zalari carefully followed patterns, he experimented, placing objects in ways that were unconventional but surprisingly effective. A floating sphere of light spun gently above a small pod, casting calming glows throughout the chamber. "Interesting placement," one advisor commented, their musical tones translated by Lethera. "Unexpected yet harmonious," Alex grinned. "That's human ingenuity for you. We make mistakes, then call them art." The advisors seemed intrigued, and even Lethera allowed herself a small smile. The exercises continued, each one blending human creativity with Zalari precision. The hybrid child, though not yet born, responded to the combined energy, emitting small pulses that echoed throughout the chamber like tiny bursts of joy. During a break, Alex floated beside Lethera. "You know," he said, "I never thought I'd be here teaching aliens about chaos and mistakes. Yet, it feels right." Lethera's glow pulsed softly. "Your nature is essential, human. We understand now that balance requires more than precision. It requires life. Unpredictability. Emotion," Alex nodded. "So humans are like catalysts?" "In a way," she admitted. "Catalysts that create harmony from potential conflict. Your species brings what we cannot replicate." After the exercises, the council prepared for the ceremonial integration. The chamber was transformed into a radiant space of light, floating patterns, and soft musical resonance. Both humans and Zalari were to participate, symbolizing unity and shared responsibility for the hybrid child. Alex glanced around nervously. Human delegates had been brought in to observe, and they were watching him intently. He felt the weight of expectation, but then he remembered what he had learned. Sincerity, curiosity, and humor were his strengths. He floated into position beside Lethera, offering a small bow. "Here goes nothing," he muttered. The ceremony began. Alex followed the Queen's guidance, blending human intuition with Zalari precision. At first, there were small mishaps. Objects drifted off course. Minor energy pulses spiked, but Alex adapted quickly, laughing at his mistakes and finding new solutions. The council and delegates watched closely. Slowly, the errors resolved themselves, and a harmonious pattern of light and sound filled the chamber. The hybrid child's energy pulses responded positively, creating a glow that radiated warmth and calm throughout the room. One of the advisors whispered again, and Lethera translated, "The hybrid's development is stable. The human's contribution is more important than expected. They are allies in creation," Alex exhaled. "So humans aren't just good at chaos. We're helpful chaos?" Lethera chuckled softly. "Perhaps necessary chaos." The final part of the ceremony involved a symbolic exchange of knowledge. Humans and Zalari were paired to share ideas, stories, and lessons from their respective cultures. Alex was paired with several young Zalari who were curious and eager to learn. He told stories of Earth, how humans built cities, created music, and solved problems in creative ways. The Zalari listened intently, asking questions about motivations, emotions, and unexpected solutions. Alex realized that these young Zalari were absorbing not only information, but a new perspective on life itself. "Your species values mistakes," one young Zalari said, eyes wide. Yet your mistakes create beauty. Why? Alex thought for a moment. Because when we fail, we try again. And sometimes, trying again leads to something better than we imagined. The Zalari nodded slowly, glowing softly. Alex smiled. Exactly. That's humanity in a nutshell. After the ceremony, the council spoke to Alex privately. They expressed admiration for his approach, noting that human traits, curiosity, adaptability, humor, and emotional honesty were essential for the success of the hybrid process. You have proven, one advisor said, that humanity brings value beyond strength and technology. You bring balance, growth, and perspective. Alex grinned. I guess we're good at more than just messing things up. Lethera joined them, her glow radiant. Captain Morgan, today you have helped unite two species. Your presence, your nature, it is a gift. The hybrid child will thrive because of you. Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had not fought a battle, conquered a planet, or wielded advanced technology. And yet he had achieved something remarkable. By being himself, curious, clumsy, honest, and adaptable, he had helped two species work together in harmony. That night, Alex floated in his chamber, reflecting on the day. The hybrid child's energy pulsed softly, a reminder of the life that had already begun to change the galaxy. He realized that humans might not always be the strongest or most precise species, but they had something far more powerful, the ability to connect, to adapt, and to inspire. Lethera visited him one last time before he rested. Captain Morgan, she said softly, the coming weeks will be important. Your presence, guidance, and humanity will continue to shape the child's development. We must prepare for its arrival, and for the lessons it will teach both our species. Alex nodded. I'm ready, I think. Humans and Zalari can do great things together. And maybe, we can make mistakes and still make the galaxy a better place. The Queen's glow pulsed in agreement, a soft, radiant light that filled the chamber. Alex smiled. He knew that the hybrid's arrival would be just the beginning of something extraordinary. Humans and Zalari, working together, could achieve wonders neither species could imagine alone. The day had finally come. The hybrid child, the result of an accidental but miraculous bond between human and Zalari, was ready to enter the world. The atmosphere aboard the flagship was alive with quiet excitement and anticipation. Every corner of the ship hummed with energy, a sign that the child's development had reached a critical stage. Captain Alex Morgan floated through the corridors, his usual mix of nervousness and curiosity settling into a steady focus. He had spent weeks learning, adapting, and guiding, not with weapons but with humor, empathy, and human creativity. And now, all of that preparation was about to culminate in a moment that would change two species forever. The Queen met him in the central chamber, her glow brighter than ever. She radiated both authority and serenity, a combination that always left Alex feeling awed. Captain Morgan, she said, her voice calm but full of warmth. Today we witness history. Are you ready? Alex grinned nervously. Ready as I'll ever be, though. I still don't fully understand what I'm supposed to do if this thing cries or floats too fast. Lethera's laughter echoed through the chamber. You will do what humans do best. Observe, react, and offer emotional support. That will be enough. The chamber had been transformed into a space both elegant and playful. Floating platforms, glowing orbs, and soft energy fields created an environment that was safe, stimulating, and comforting. It was a blend of Zalari precision and human warmth, a perfect reflection of the two species working together. The Queen lay on a gently floating platform, energy field stabilizing her body and focusing on the hybrid's safe delivery. Alex hovered nearby, ready to assist in any way. The room filled with a soft, resonant hum as the energy shifted, signaling the imminent arrival of the child. Then it happened. A radiant pulse of light emerged from the Queen, followed by another and then a series of soft, synchronized waves. Alex felt the energy swirl around him, responding to his presence, his emotions, his very human instinct to comfort. This is incredible, he whispered. Lethera's eyes glimmered as the first image of the hybrid appeared in the energy field. A small, glowing form that radiated both human and Zalari traits. Its body shimmered in delicate hues of blue and gold, and tiny sparks of energy danced along its surface like fireflies. Alex's heart raced. It is beautiful, he said softly. The queen's glow pulsed with pride and relief. It is our child, and your contribution has made it strong, stable, and harmonious. As the hybrid began to solidify into a physical form, Alex noticed something extraordinary. Its features were a perfect blend of human and Zalari, small hands that seemed human yet glowed faintly with energy, eyes wide and intelligent beyond their age, and a presence that radiated curiosity and warmth. You see, Lithera said, floating gently beside him, human traits have enriched it. Curiosity, emotional resonance, humor, all are present. Alex grinned, feeling a rush of pride. So humans really do have superpowers, huh? Different powers, Lithera corrected, smiling softly. Powers that complement ours. The council and advisors observed quietly, their eyes glowing softly in approval. Even the youngest Zalari, usually reserved and cautious, seemed captivated by the hybrid's presence. It was clear that the child was not only healthy but extraordinary, an unprecedented blend of two civilizations. Alex extended a hand cautiously, unsure how the hybrid would react. To his surprise, it reached toward him, its tiny fingers glowing faintly, and a soft energy pulse connected them. Alex felt warmth, curiosity, and intelligence flowing through the bond. He laughed softly. It likes me, he said. Guess humans aren't terrible after all. The hybrid emitted a soft pulse of energy that responded to Alex's laughter, as if acknowledging humor, empathy, and the strange unpredictability of humanity. Lithera's glow pulsed in approval. You see, she said, this child represents the future, a union of strengths, traits, and understanding that neither species could achieve alone. It is a symbol of hope. Alex felt the weight of the moment. He had never imagined that his clumsiness, humor, and humanity could contribute to something so profound. And yet here he was, part of a miracle that would shape the galaxy. Over the following hours, the hybrid grew more interactive. It floated gently above the queen, observing the humans and Zalari around it with curious, intelligent eyes. Alex found himself instinctively demonstrating simple gestures, small games, and even silly movements to engage it. To his amazement, the hybrid responded with energy pulses that mimicked human laughter and expression. Captain Morgan, Lithera said softly, you are teaching it already. Your species' behavior provides guidance beyond biology. Alex shrugged, floating lazily. I guess being human isn't just about survival. It's about connection. The council spoke again, formally recognizing Alex's contributions. His role had been unprecedented, not as a warrior, diplomat, or scientist, but as a human being whose traits had helped stabilize the hybrid and bridge two civilizations. You have proven, one advisor said, that humanity brings unique and invaluable contributions. Curiosity, humor, empathy, and unpredictability all have strengthened this process. Alex grinned. So basically, humans are lucky chaos? Sounds about right. Lithera laughed softly. Perhaps, but chaos that nurtures, inspires, and connects. That is a power worth honoring. By the end of the day, the hybrid had fully integrated into the chamber environment. It floated among humans and Zalari alike, responding to energy, sound, and gesture with intelligence and warmth. Its presence brought out the best in everyone: curiosity, patience, creativity, and cooperation. Alex watched, heart full, as the young Zalari approached the hybrid cautiously, guided by his human example. Slowly they began to interact, exchanging small energy pulses and gestures that blended human playfulness with Zalari precision. This is amazing, Alex whispered. They're learning from each other. Just like I hoped. Lithera's glow pulsed gently beside him. Yes, Captain Morgan. You have helped shape not only the hybrid, but a new path for both our species. Cooperation, understanding, and unity. All can grow from this moment. The days that followed were filled with exploration and joy. Humans and Zalari worked together to create shared spaces for learning, play, and growth. Alex continued to serve as a guide, not a commander, demonstrating human traits that inspired understanding, curiosity, and empathy. Even small mistakes became lessons. When Alex accidentally bumped into a floating platform, sending it spinning, the hybrid giggled, if energy pulses could be called giggles, and the Zalari learned a new pattern of response. Each human habit, quirk, and improvisation became part of a shared culture, strengthening bonds and fostering cooperation. One evening, as Alex floated beside the Queen, he reflected on everything that had happened. From the initial accidental bonding to the child's birth, humanity had proven itself in ways that weapons, technology, or force never could. Curiosity, empathy, humor, and resilience had shaped the future. "You have done well, human," Lithera said softly, her glow warm and comforting. "Our child is strong, intelligent, and harmonious. You have made this possible." Alex smiled. "I just did my best. I guess humans aren't as small or weak as everyone thinks." "You are more than you realize," she replied. "Your species brings gifts that cannot be measured in strength or speed, gifts that shape civilizations." Alex floated back to his chamber that night, tired but content. He had never imagined that his life as a soldier would lead to this, a galaxy-changing event, a hybrid child, and a bridge between species. And yet it had. He looked out at the stars, endless and bright, and felt a quiet pride. Humanity, with all its chaos, curiosity, and warmth, had a place among the stars. And in the heart of the Zilari flagship, a new life glowed, a symbol of unity, understanding, and hope. As he drifted to sleep, he knew that this was only the beginning. The hybrid child would grow, learn, and inspire both species, and humans, with all their unpredictable, clumsy, brilliant ways, would continue to shape the galaxy, not through force, but through connection, empathy, and the extraordinary power of being human. The stars shimmered endlessly outside, but inside a new light had been born, a light that blended curiosity, resilience, and laughter, a light that promised a future where humans and Zilari could explore the cosmos together, learning from each other and growing stronger as one.